Have you ever wondered why some people are successful taking weight loss medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda, or Zepbound, and others tend to struggle with it? Maybe they stay on for a little while and then they eventually fall off, right? Why they fail? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you the five biggest mistakes that people make when taking a GLP-1 medication that cause them to stall, right? And cause them not to have the successful weight loss that they hoped for when they first started. And I want to talk about this because I know that many people, you may see people having so much success on the weight loss medications, but not everybody, right? So today we're going to talk about the five biggest mistakes that people make. Hello, 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 bold, brave, and brilliant ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Zepbound Journey with Ange. My name is Angela Durant. My friends call me Ange, and you can too. And I am somebody who has struggled with her weight for most of my life. Since I was about age 7. At my highest weight, I was 331 pounds. I'm only 5'2.5" tall, so I'm not really that tall. I'm vertically challenged. and you know, I started this weight loss journey at 296 pounds in February. And today I'm down 64 pounds. I can't even believe it when I say it. I can't believe it's been in such a short period of time. I've been able to lose so much and so much more to come, right? I'm only like halfway there. Today, I actually went to go see my doctor, my obesity medicine doctor, and I hadn't seen her in a while. We've been working through telehealth because of her schedule. And so I hadn't seen her in person. So she hadn't seen me since she prescribed the medication, right? We've been talking via text and email and all that, but I hadn't been in her office. And I have to say, one of the things before we get into the five biggest mistakes, right? I want to say that visit with her was just really a powerful visit in that it made me think about so many things, right? The fact that I even have a team. I'm not doing it alone, right? I'm surrounded by these brilliant people who have my best interests at heart. And specifically, her name is I call her Dr. D, Dr. Dolores. Specifically, she's just really well educated in obesity health, and so what I love about her, and that's what I try to create here in our channel, is that she's very kind, she's very caring, she's very compassionate, and that's the kind of doctor that I need. I was talking to my husband about that. He goes, well, some people need that. I was like, yes, that's me. I need that. Other people like somebody that's going to like kick them in the butt, right? And get them going. But that doesn't work so well for me. And so I wanted to really have a situation where I had somebody that I knew really cared about me and wasn't judging me, wasn't making life difficult for me. I told her the story about a doctor that I had back in New Jersey. I moved to Pennsylvania from New Jersey, and I told her about a doctor that I had in New Jersey, and I think I went because I'm like either my ankles were hurting or my knees were hurting, and I told the doctor, I have this pain in my knees, right? And she was like, you need to lose weight. You need to lose her accent. She's like, you need to lose weight. Your problem is you're too fat. You're too fat. You need to lose weight. And she goes, you keep coming for these problems, but these problems are because of your weight. And I just, felt like it's my fault, that she's right. I have these problems because I weigh too much. I need to lose weight. But that didn't help me. That didn't make me like go home and exercise. It made me sad and depressed and made me reach for food, right? And so we have to know ourselves and understand what inspires us to be better and what doesn't. So she wasn't my doctor for too long, right? But I think I had the reaction that I did when I met Dr. D, which was I, burst into tears in her office, which I'm not a teary person like that. I'm not, that's not really who I am normally. But I think it was all these years of having that pent up feeling guilt and feeling shame and feeling defeated and feeling like in all the other areas of my life, I can do this. Like I can, achieve things in work in the corporate setting. I can achieve things in my marriage, right? Put that hook out there and reel that guy in, right? I can achieve things as a mom and I feel successful in all those areas of my life. But when it came to the weight, I did not feel successful. I struggled. I struggled. And it was something that I felt like I just couldn't defeat it. I couldn't beat it, right? No matter what I did. And I was talking to the doctor about it today, Dr. D, and I said, I used to wake up in the morning and say, okay, today's going to be different. Today is going to be the day we're going to we're going to beat this thing. Today's going to be the day where I'm going to eat well and eat, the adequate portions and not overeat and not eat too much sugar or carbs. And by noon, I had failed, right? By noon, I had failed. I white knuckled it till noon, got through breakfast, but by noon, I had failed. And I would do that again and again and again. And so hearing a doctor say, you're too fat, that's your problem. And you're going to have other problems too. You got high blood pressure, you have this. Like, I know I have those things and I want it to be different. I want it to change, but I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. And then sitting in, fast forward, leaving that doctor and having now Dr. D, and she sits with me and she hears me, and she immediately comes to me and she sits with me, she holds my hands and she says, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like, this is a disease and we'll treat this disease, the treatment, just like we would treat anything else, just like we treat hypertension, just like we would treat diabetes. We're going to treat this disease, right? And it's us against it, right? And we're on your team. And, when she said that and she's like, Ange, it's a disease. We know that now. When she said that, it just gave me, I think it was, I could just exhale, right? Because I can't speak for what it's like in other countries, but I am not the standard of beauty here in the US, right? And, I always also say here that you could be the biggest person in the room and be invisible. Like, nobody sees you. Nobody's checking for you when you're a big person, right? When you're overweight or obese, nobody's really checking for you. And so I felt like it's my fault. Like, why can't I do better? Right. And the weight just kept getting higher and higher and higher. So I was telling Dr. D today, I said, there should be more doctors like you in the world. Like, you don't understand, like, you have changed my life. The fact that you're on my side and you're rooting for me, cheering me on. And when I fall down, you don't judge me. When I come in and say, well, I didn't exercise as much as I was supposed to, right? She's like, okay, so let's take baby steps. You're trying to take huge leaps. Instead of saying you're going to work out 7 days a week, let's scale that back, right? And she didn't judge me and she didn't make me feel any kind of way about it. Like, it was like a neutral thing. Like, this is a disease and we're going after it, right? We got you, right? This is what we're going to do. And so having a caring, supportive team is very important. It's very important. And everybody's personality is different. So maybe you do like the kick in the pants kind of doctor, but I don't want anybody judging me. I don't want anybody telling me what I need to do. And I specifically don't want anybody who doesn't get it, who doesn't understand that it's a disease, because clearly the other doctor did not get it. And so that was one of the things that my friend Lorna said to me today. She goes, yeah, the difference was that you have a specialist who studied this disease. She's on the cutting edge. She knows what it is, what it looks like. She understands it. The other doctor, she was your primary care doctor, but she wasn't a specialist. And she clearly did not have the compassion that I needed. And this also goes to you advocating for yourself, like knowing what you need, what's good for you, what motivates and inspires you to be great, and what defeats you. And I don't want a medical team that pulls me down. I want a medical team that lifts me up. right? That's always rooting for me, that's always in my corner, that celebrates when my numbers come back and they're like, oh, your numbers look so great. We're so excited. Oh, you look good in your clothes. We're so excited. That's what I need. And that's what I try to be for this community as well. So I just wanted to share that with you because there should be more doctors like Dr. D in the world. She's amazing. She really is incredible. And so I wish you could meet her. I wish you guys could meet her. She's just wonderful. And I feel very blessed and very grateful that she's in my life, that I was able to find her. Because I found her at a time when I really, really needed her, that I could not that my weight just kept creeping up and I didn't know where to turn. Like I already had the 2 bariatric surgeries. I already did the things that I thought were the most drastic and it still didn't work for me. Right. And so we also had a conversation about the medication itself. And she's like, how you feel? And how does it make you feel? How are you? Any side effects? What do you? And I was like, no, I'm feeling really great. I don't, I always say it's not intrusive. This medication is not intrusive. It doesn't make me feel like it's even there, it's even present, aside from the fact that it works, right? Right. It takes those cravings away. And I always tell all of you that for me, I feel like I'm a severe case. So if it works for me, a lot of people say, if it works for me, it'll work for anybody, right? But I really do believe that it's a severe case. And so I'm, and I'm not a super responder to the medication. I think I'm an average responder to the medication. But for me, I needed it. And we also talked about it being a lifelong journey with the medication. Like, I think I'm not that girl who can titrate down and be off of it. I just know, and you have to know yourself, right? So with all of that, I wanted to share that with you because it was such a wonderful day. Like, I just felt so blessed to have her in my life. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I wish that for all of you, that you have doctors that advocate for you, that doctors that will, write the scripts, will go back, submit those pre-authorizations again and again, even though they get denied again. And she just kept submitting it, right? She's like, we'll get you this medication, right? So I hope for that for all of you, because it's really been a part of my success, right? Having a team, in addition to having all of you, right? So let's get into it. I want to talk to you about the 5 biggest mistakes that I found one can have on this weight loss journey with these weight loss medications that can really derail your success if you're not aware of them. Now, this is only 5, but there is a whole lot more, right, that I've learned over this past 7-8 months that I've been on this journey. So let's jump into it. So the first one I want to share with you is not combining medication with lifestyle changes. One of the things that Dr. D said to me in the very beginning is that we take a 3-legged, like a 3-leg stool approach, right? So it is your movement, it's your nutrition, and it's like the medical team along with the medication, right? And so for me, I find that if I don't work out, I don't get the same results. But I have friends who are on GLP-1s and they have not worked out the whole time and lost a ton of weight. But that has not been my journey. That's not my story. So while a GLP-1 medications, while they're powerful and they can be very effective for weight loss, they work best when combined with good nutrition and an increase of movement, right? Relying solely on the medication without making sustainable lifestyle modifications is a common pitfall that really limits us long-term, that limits our long-term success. So that's the first thing I want to say. Like, yes, I'm using the medication because I need it, but I also have added movement and good nutrition to my lifestyle to help me sustain this long-term. Okay, number two. And for those people out there who do not understand our journey, says, yeah, well, you just need to exercise more and you need to eat less. You don't need that medication. I say to them, mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. I say to them, you probably don't understand what this really is. And if you've never experienced it, it's hard for you to understand. Yes, we know. We all know that it's healthier for us to work out and eat right. Some people are so heavy they can't really work out the way that they'd want to. But we know that that's an important component. And when we're able to, we will. And we need the medication. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is setting unrealistic expectations, right? Expecting massive weight loss in just a few weeks after, that often leads to us being disappointed, right? And potentially quitting, and, that's not what we want you to do, right? And I will say that, and I say this often, that comparison is the thief of joy, right? Because there are people on these medications who lose rapidly. I mean, they are dropping weight like it's like nobody's business, right? But not all of us are. Some of us is taking longer. I think we did a live earlier this week, and somebody said, I've been on this medication for 3 months and I've only lost 15 pounds, right? I'm like, well, 15 pounds is not nothing to sneeze at. But when you're comparing it to somebody who's lost 40 pounds, right, you feel like, you're doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is different. Your process is different. You got to find your right dose that's great for you, right? So everybody's different. So don't compare to that. Just know you're 15 pounds down, where had you not been on the medication, you may have stayed the same, or you may have gained, right? So it's a reason to celebrate that 15 pounds down. So having unrealistic expectations. I will tell you, this medication is a game changer in that you can lose almost as much on the medication as you can having bariatric surgery nowadays. Right now, I'm down I'm down 21%, my doctor said. This morning, she was like, you're down like 21% of your body weight and you're still losing. Like, you haven't even gotten to the point where you're plateau, and you're still on the journey. Your body's still seeking a lighter weight for you. So, know that the medication works, but the pace might be different for everybody, right? So celebrate every 5, 10, 15 pounds that you lose, right? Celebrate that. Appreciate how your clothes feel looser on your body, how your energy is increased, because slow and steady wins the race. And some of you always say that to me when I'm like, oh man, I had a stall this week, I haven't lost that much. You're like, and remember, slow and steady wins the race. And you're right. With patience and consistency, you'll be amazed at the sustainability that you'll have, right? The progress that you'll make over time. So don't go in it with unrealistic expectations, because you'll get frustrated and want to quit. You'll be like, why am I paying? I've had people say, I'm paying $550 a month for this medication. It's not working. I only lost 15 pounds, right? Well, 15 pounds count, right? That's not nothing. And it just may be slower for you, or you may go into another dose and find you drop weight quicker. Okay. So just take your time. It's okay. We're all going to get there. Mistake number three, not monitoring side effects. Now, GLP-1s and other weight loss medication can cause side effects like nausea, diarrhea, and constipation. And failing to monitor and manage these side effects properly, can impact adherence and results, right? Some people will want to stop taking the medication. I have a friend who was on the compound of semaglutide, and she was like, I'm so nauseous, I can't do it. I think this GLP-1 medication is not for me, right? So you need to closely watch it. Being in touch with your doctor is crucial, right? Rates of serious adverse events with tirzepatide on the highest dose, 15 milligrams, is only about 5%, right? 5%. I mean, it should be, we don't want any, but 5% is a low number for you to have a serious side effect. But my friend, she's like, Angie, I don't think I can take it anymore. I think I got to come off of it. And I said, well, let me just say this. Maybe that is not the right one for you, but maybe see if you can get tirzepatide, because I heard that tirzepatide has less side effects. And I talked to my doctor about that today. I said, is it true? Because a lot of people in my community are saying when they switch from Wegovy to Zepbound, they had less side effects. And she said, in many cases, it is true, because there's something about the dual agent of having a GLP-1 and a GIP together with the tirzepatide, with the Zepbound, that reduces the side effects, where the semaglutide, the Wegovy's, are just the GLP-1s. And so that can cause a spike, could cause some imbalance, that can cause you to have more side effects, apparently, is what my doctor said. So that's a real thing. But it doesn't affect everybody that way. But it's really important to keep an eye on it, monitor it. So, so you don't want to quit because of it. The next, number 4, is lack of consistency. Lack of consistency, like any treatment, consistent use of medication as prescribed is key, right, for optimal outcomes, right? So don't skip your doses. Don't take your medication irregularly, right? We want you to take it when you're supposed to take it, or differently than prescribed, because that can be a significant hindrance to your progress. Some people are like, I'm just going to stretch it out longer. Well, I think you can stretch it out longer if your doctor tells you to stretch it out longer. My doctor did. She said go from 7 days to 10 days apart taking it because of the shortage. And by the way, she said that the shortage is gone. She thinks that it's gone. I was like, I don't know. People in my community are saying they still can't get it. But I haven't had a problem getting the 12.5 milligrams at all. So I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know in the chat if you're still having challenges getting it, or if FDA did a good thing by taking it off of the shortage list. Okay, next up, number 5. Number 5 is not addressing underlying issues. Not addressing underlying issues, right? So while very effective for many people, GLP-1s don't address the underlying lifestyle factors and habits that contribute to shifts and can lead to weight regain if you stop taking the medication, if or when you stop taking the medication, right? And we all know that, right? We know that when we stop taking the medication, study shows that you are going to regain the weight. And I think that, of course, with many of us, there are underlying issues that need to be addressed. What I would often tell people is that I know that other issues need to be addressed. However, I need to arrest the disease first. Let me do the medication first, so I have a clear mind. I'm not foggy. That my joints don't hurt. I can walk around without being in pain, and then I can talk about any other underlying issues that maybe I've had since I was 7 years old, right? That have caused this to be a problem throughout my life. But those underlying issues do need to be addressed, because you may come off medication and boop, right back on. You're putting the weight right back on because you're not doing all the things that you need to do to care for yourself holistically. Okay. So let me know if that makes sense. Those are the top 5. And I'm going to have this as a resource for you. I will put this in the show notes. As soon as I get a chance, I'll upload it into the show notes so you can go back and read them for yourself. You can have them if you say, what was number 4 again? What was number 2? You can go back and read that. So I hope that was helpful to you. Try to avoid the mistakes. I want you to stay on the medication as long as it's working for you and your doctor wants you to be on it and you're successful with it. And don't compare yourself to anybody else, because your journey may be a little bit slower than someone else's. Mine is slower than the average person, or maybe than the super responders, right? We have friends they're like losing it like nobody's business. The other thing I want to share with you, because we're always talking about the cost of the medication, we're talking about the transformation that we're going through. And I want to share with you, and I know it's not for everybody, but every chance that I get, I want to tell you about building your own YouTube channel. So many of you are saying, Ange, I started my YouTube channel. Ange, I'm starting. We have a program called Be Brilliant, because Be Brilliant is my brand. Be Brilliant on YouTube, where we help you build your brand and your YouTube channel, right? Build a YouTube channel so you can share your stories of inspiration, of encouragement, and of transformation. Like, you are going through an amazing transformation, and people are watching and people are inspired by what you do, whether they tell you or not, right? being on YouTube has just been a game changer for me, right? You can reach people that you would never know. Like I now feel like I have, thousands of friends, right, throughout the world because of this YouTube channel. And some people, write to me and say that, I've changed their life, and I've never even met them. I don't even know who they are. And that's how amazing it is, right? Imagine that you can reach people, you can inspire hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions every year by having your little YouTube channel. We have just a little teeny tiny YouTube channel, but with your help, we're growing. We're growing. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the chat when you do, because I'd like to thank you personally for subscribing to our channel. This channel is just for the kind, caring, and compassionate people. So if that's you, we want you to be a part of our community. But this is just pretty amazing, the lives that you can touch with a YouTube channel. And at the same time, I monetize this channel in 45 days. In 45 days, I monetize the channel. And that will bring in thousands of dollars every year, which can go to clothes. When you're shrinking, you want new shoes, new clothes, or it can go to supplementing the cost of the medication if your insurance is not covering it, or a nice vacation after you work so hard on this journey, right? Whatever it is you want to spend it on. The fact is that I would be doing videos anyway, but the fact that I get paid to do them is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. And so you can monetize it too. One of the things that I did, my approach was, I'm a brand strategist. So I approached this process as a brand strategist. I took notes along the way, what worked, what didn't work. And as the things worked, I reached out to my clients. I couldn't keep it to myself. I'm like, you need to do this. I'm looking at your channel. You need to do this. You need to change this, so that they would have success with what they're doing too. So I'm doing a case study group with this particular program called Be Brilliant on YouTube. And if it's not for everybody, but if it's something that you're interested in, you want to connect with me right away. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, but it's a case study where I'm taking people in who are serious about being on this journey, and they're serious about building a brand online, leveraging the power of YouTube. So if that is you, please reach out to me. And again, I know it's not for everybody, but for those people it are. We need leaders who will lead the charge, not just me, but you too, right? Who will be out in front of a crowd and inspire them and motivate them. And as a collective, you all do well. We all win. So that is Be Brilliant on YouTube. We're doing a case study group. So as soon as you are able to, if that's something that appeals to you, go ahead and apply. It is free to apply. The program isn't free, but it is free to apply. So if it's something that you're interested in, go ahead and put your application in, and I will make sure that is in the show notes for you. So as always, I welcome any questions you have, any comments you have. Please feel free to ask me anything as it relates to this weight loss journey. I'm happy to share my journey with you. And I'd love to hear you. Love to hear from you, because I learn from you every day too. So please feel free to do that. I respond to every single comment, right? As of now, right? I'm responding to every single comment. So if I don't get right back to you, I will. But our little channel is growing, so there's lots of comments, and I love them. I absolutely love hearing from you. One other announcement I want to share is that our Facebook group is launching another 6-week sprint of weight loss. So if you want to lose weight going into Christmas, going into the New Year's, and not be like everybody else who goes on the diets, right? As their New Year's resolution, you like to go in healthy, strong, fit, and fabulous. Then go ahead and join me on our private Facebook group. It's called Zepbound Transformation Tribe. It's a 6-week sprint that we're going to do for weight loss, and it's fun. So our last group, we lost over 300 pounds as a group, and I think the next group is going to lose even more. So you're welcome to do that. As always, I want you to go out there. I want you to be bold, brave, and brilliant. I want you to be bold because it takes boldness to advocate for yourself, to know your body and say, I need something else because this, what I'm trying right here with this bariatric surgery or trying to eat on my own, is not working for me. I want you to be brave because it takes courage in the face of, poor doctors that don't treat you well, saying, you know what? I'm going to leave this practice and go where where somebody can root me on and celebrate me. It takes courage to do that because sometimes we think the doctors know everything, right? And when it comes to your body, you're the expert on your body. So I want you to continue to advocate yourself. I want you to make decisions that are in your best interest, right? And I want you to go out there and be brilliant. Step into the light. Don't hide. It's so easy for us to hide when we're obese. It's easy for us to hide in plain sight. Nobody sees us. We're invisible, right? I want you to step into the light and really shine. Show up and shine. Let people know the journey that you're on, what amazing transformation you're having, not only externally, but inside too, because you're going on a journey inside too. With that, be bold, be brave, be brilliant, because you are. Thank you so much for tuning in to Zepbound Journey with Ange. I love you guys. So glad that you're here. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe. And if you know how to hype that new feature, hype it up so more people can find us. Thanks again for joining. Love you guys. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.